Hello everybody, welcome back to ESA Summer 21. We are raising money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found below the stream or in chat. ! Donate for that one. Also, a quick shout out to our sponsors Twitch and ViewSonic. Thanks a lot for sponsoring this event. And friends, now it's time for some ShootMania Storm. And before we start, I quickly want to give a shout out to all of you who helped us reach the donation incentive, which was at a total of 500. And yeah, we will be seeing level 5 step by step with only one hand. So that sounds very exciting to me. Yeah, so take it away, guys. Good luck and have fun with the run.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I'm SBVille, and I'm joined by one of the greatest ShootMania players of all time, Bugs. Very happy to have you here with me. No, it's true. We're going to be playing some ShootMania Storm Obstacle today, and Obstacle is a custom game mode. It's like a speedrun game mode made by the community, and all of these 4 maps that I'm going to be showcasing are also made by the community. So you might know ShootMania from PvP, esports stuff. This is a little bit different, and these maps are also way too hard for a marathon showcase, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so first map is going to be Step by Step, a legendary, maybe the most well-known obstacle map in ShootMania, and Bugs will be explaining some basics while we go through this. This is a no shortcut version, so it's going to be pretty basic stuff, but it's going to help you understand the game a lot better. So we're going to be starting time in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Well, welcome everyone. I'm going to be commentating today, and without further ado, let's jump right in. I'm going to first explain a bit about the HUD. So on the bottom left of your screen, you can see the ammo that the player has, and this ammo will shoot rockets that are used to do some movement-based things, such as rocket wall jumps that we'll explain later. And on the bottom right, you can see a bar that is used to sprint and glide. You can see Ville gliding right now. Basically what this does is translating downwards momentum into forwards momentum. And this is first checkpoint reached. Every checkpoint allows you to respawn on it if you fail. And second section doesn't have any rockets. You can see on the bottom left that there are no ammo. So most of what he's gonna do, wall jumps and such, are gonna be done using stamina. And the goal of this section is to really be proficient with the use of the stamina and be able to clear the whole level without running out of it. It slowly regenerates over time, and it fully regenerates if you respawn, just like he's gonna do here. And he has rockets just for one checkpoint, and then it's back to 0 ammo. These red walls are power blocks. They enhance everything you do on them. They give you stronger wall jump and stronger jumps, and we'll see more of it. This is a bumper that shoots you in the air. And this next section is centered around clearing long gaps by using rocket jumps or bumps. You can see him performing some rocket jumps, and you can see that unlike games like CSGO or Quake or Team Fortress, the rockets do not bump you that much. They just keep your height and keep you going. You can see here that he's gonna spam, and he's not really going up, just falling slower. And that is third section executed perfectly. Just as we go to the next section, which combines rockets and wall jumps. That's the first big move in the game. It allows you to do some very strong wall jumps even though you are mid-air, and that's like the main game mechanic that we're gonna use throughout all of this. And right there we're gonna see another respawn, used to gain some more stamina.
Now we're getting to level 5, so it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna let go of the keyboard.
Yeah, because that's the incentive.
So here's the donation incentive. Let's do a thumbs up for the duration of this level. As you can see, a keyboard is completely optional in this video game. This level is supposed to be about a technique called tri-wall, which it will be, but we don't really have to do much of climbing here. We just that was close. Am I dead? No. Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice to see.
Okay.
Playing without keyboard is just really tough. If you ever played this game, you'll realize that doing this is not easy at all.
Holding the thumbs up is the real challenge here. So this is called tri-wall, and it's kind of tricky without keyboard. Basically, it just makes it much harder to save if you make a mistakes, but the easy solution is to not make mistakes.
Yeah, that's always the solution.
Hold on now. Oh, this is...
And now the tricky part is to get some momentum going without using the W or any keys at all. So he needs to perform some weird jumps and some weird bumps in order to get a lot of momentum and clear this obstacle.
Nice.
And that should be it.
If I get
perfect. Nice. Well done.
And then one more tri-wall. Oh, I forgot to hold the thumbs up. God damn it. I told you it was the hardest part.
The thumbs through.
Alright, but there we go. That's the donation incentive. Got through it.
Good job, well played. So now it's with keyboards again. And we're gonna see a bit of a mix between rocket wall jumps and bumping, which we're introducing in the first part of the map. And this map has a lot of optimizations, and the hard part is really to do it fast or to do it without keyboard. But this is really a tutorial map that most beginner players should be able to learn on. And this is our first corner jump, which is really the first milestone when you start being a good player. We'll see more of it. We'll have time to explain it.
Yep.
And right there,
this is off zone, the blue transparent thing.
So off zone.
Want to touch it.
Yeah. Off zone basically makes you respawn if you ever touch it. You cannot bump on it, and you cannot do mostly anything with it. It's really the death block. And here we have some very precise pillar bumps, which are done perfectly. Nice, and this is the last checkpoint of our first map. We're going to the end of this first challenge, which will be 1 out of 4.
Yep.
Nice. With a very good time of 6:27.
So Once Upon a Time is actually a map made by you, and this is a really exciting map, a much faster map.
Yeah. So the point of the last map was to teach people the game. This map is totally different. The point of it is to go very fast. You can see that Ville is gonna try to land on these white grounds. Basically they give you a speed boost if you ever touch them. He's gonna also do a lot of bumping above his head. Basically what this does is it helps him, because using stamina you can translate downwards momentum into forwards momentum, basically go further, faster. So he's creating some downwards momentum with rockets to gain speed. And if you ever land on any other surfaces than the white grounds, you'll get a speed down. So it's very important to land on these. Throughout this map there will be checkpoints with unlimited stamina that will regenerate your stamina, just like this one. You can see on the top. that, yeah, this is the end of unlimited stamina, but maybe you saw unlimited stamina. This is hit the move into EJ, but we'll not talk much about it.
Escalator jump will come up more often than hip move, so that one we can actually explain. So we're coming up to checkpoint 17, and on that checkpoint, or checkpoint 16 rather, we actually need to manipulate air control. So how this is done is basically every time you do a wall jump, the game puts an air control vector onto you. You just saw me do 2 wall jumps on the same wall there, on the same like parallel walls, let's say. Basically the same wall. That was just a gap, but usually when you do a wall jump, the game pushes you away from that wall. But when we do some certain setups, when we do some wall jumps without landing, the air control vector gets a bit weird. The game developers never really thought about chaining wall jumps, because the fact that wall jumps push you away from the walls is completely intentional. It's just the fact that we can do multiple wall jumps in a row that allows us to manipulate air control, and that's very important for this game's air control, because that's our main way to strafe in the air. Air control otherwise is very minimal, but if we do certain moves, we can do stuff like strafe back into the wall that we just came from, so it's very helpful. Called escalator jump.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that he mentioned that I want to stress a bit more is that air control is very minimal. We just saw a run of CSGO where strafing mid-air is very powerful, but right here we have very little ways to change our direction mid-air with our keyboard. It's mostly bumps and bumps that will allow us to get the right trajectory. So this game involves obviously a lot of flicking and a lot of shooting rockets, which is done beautifully by Ville right here. And
we have some time, I think, right now, if there's any shoutouts or incentives or donations.
Great, yeah, I can do that. So, starting out here by $15, we got a donation here. $15 by Oh My Goodness Gracious, and saying that dark sassy game seems like absolute prime speedrun material, let's say. Please, let's get it in. And yes, indeed, please, guys. Dark Sassy is a bonus game after Dark Souls 3 a little bit later today. I've seen a run of it before, and it's absolutely hilarious. If you're even slightly a Dark Souls fan, please, you don't want to miss this speedrun. It is hilarious. If Dark Souls is not your jam, though, we have some other cool incentives. For example, our resident Sonic expert, Argik. We have a donation incentive here for him to speedrun his game in a Sonic cosplay, and that is also going to be quite hilarious, I can assure you. And we have some other cool stuff. For example, the blindfold speedrunner Babsia. You can still choose which blindfold exactly he's going to have in his Smash Bros. Run a little bit later. Actually, not too long ago, so please check out all the bits at !bits in the chat. And yeah, when you do donate, please make sure to choose one of all these cool bits and incentives. And yes, back to some ShootMania here.
Yes, we are here. And we can see here on this checkpoint that Ville is performing some very fast flicks. And this way he can just push himself back to the wall to wall jump again, even though normally he would be pushed away from the wall and unable to wall jump. This is a very common mechanic in these very fast maps, because it involves obviously a lot of precision and a lot of speed. And just as we are coming to checkpoint 53, we're gonna see a teleporter. He's gonna just aim at a certain spot and teleport to the platform. And when you go through a teleporter, you obviously keep your momentum. So that is used in a lot of maps, It's a fairly uncommon mechanic, but you can see it on some maps. And right there is more flicking, more rocket wall jumps that we have already covered. These are power blocks, the red blocks, and give, as I already told, some more powerful wall jumps. And we are coming to the last portion of this map where everything gets a bit tougher, so expect some fails. But there are always ways to catch up on the run and ways to get your speed back.
Yep.
And that is very beautifully executed. And yeah, we're coming up to some very fast over jump. We can, in this game, basically landing will give you a little bit of a speed down, so mostly what you want to do is touch the ground as little as possible, but this is not always possible to avoid landing, so you can also bump yourself down and use a bit of stamina. Well, the stamina bar, if you just joined us, is on the bottom right, and using this stamina will transfer downwards momentum into forwards momentum, allowing you to go faster. And right there is a little bit of a wood platform, which we'll discuss a bit later on. And we are coming to the end of this for the second map, which was a very fast run style. And next map is gonna be totally different. But nevertheless very skilled too.
Not
and
too bad.
nice.
Sub 8.
A nice 754. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 754. Sub 8 is very good. Most people won't reach sub 8. And I let you, Ville, introduce this map.
Sure. Probably the reason why you want to do that is because it's actually my own map. So
yeah.
Atria Improminus is the name of the map, and it comes from a sort of map genre called Improvisus maps. Improvisus is Latin. Hopefully I'm right in this. And it means unexpected. So Improvisus maps are often very, very unexpected,
very unique.
surprising, unique. They have techniques that you might need to learn just for those maps, and usually the checkpoints are something that you will not find in any other types of maps. And this map in particular revolves around items a lot. So we are gonna see one here that we don't actually need to take. That one right there, the orange little box. That gives us ammo. And how much ammo they give us, or whether they give it for time duration or just a straight up amount, that depends on the checkpoint. Here we, for example, get some timed ammo items, and we need to clear this checkpoint with the help of those.
Yeah, and what we didn't mention is that every checkpoint basically gives you new mechanics in the game. When a mapper makes a map, he can choose whether you'll have infinite rockets, limited rockets, no rocket regeneration, by setting it up on every checkpoint. So every checkpoint will have different rules. This one has infinite ammo, and we see it here that he's collecting another box, another item, which is more purple. This one allows us to go through off zone, and off zone, you can see it. Yeah, he just shot at it. Off zone is this purple matter that usually makes us respawn, but when you're under when you have collected the item, a timer starts, and this timer is the duration during which you can go through off zone. And we can see a lot of little cuts right there.
Mm-hmm. There's a big one coming up soon on the next checkpoint.
So basically, it's checkpoint 15 and 16 have a lot of cuts, and this one too. So what you need to do usually is to go down and collect some rockets, which do not regenerate on this checkpoint, and you need to go back to the start of the checkpoint and do this whole section of precision jumping and wall jumping, but Ville is able to do a cheeky tri-wall and gets to the end. Get to the end in half the time it would normally take, and that is very beautifully done. And next section up, we're gonna have gates, which are a new mechanic that we haven't seen up until now. It's these very colorful walls that you need to shoot in order to destroy. They take 3 rockets, and it's a fairly not common use of this block, but as it is an improvised map and it uses a lot of dark mechanics, this is present on this map, and we'll see more of it later. And here we have a little section of precision jumping, and yeah, as we mentioned, this is an easier version of a very hard map, so you can see that there are lower landings and such. These are not possible to reach on the harder map. And here are some more gates that are beautifully cleared. This is just a very big jump that is done by using a power block. And we are coming to the second tunnel of this map. Oh! Ah, that did not have enough to save that.
Yeah, you can do just some barely. Really weird climbs in this game, but they can be pretty tough to execute.
Yeah, it gets very, very complex in the physics.
Yeah,
so this is our...
yeah, I would say that most people don't even like understand what's happening in the game. They can just do things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this water jump, for example. You don't need to really understand what's going on here, but as long as you can do it.
Yeah, it's kind of... We learned throughout the years how to perform some tricks, but we can't really explain them because the physics is just too complex. Here we have a section with some very fast jumps. He's basically doing a bump on a wall and jumping straight after to gain huge momentum in a very little space. And this whole section has to be done very quickly because you have an off-zone wall at the end of it, and you have a timer and an off-zone shield item that will allow you only for a certain duration to go through this wall. And some more
off-zone shields are generally used to put timers on checkpoints. That's basically it. Never mind this checkpoint. We don't have time, guys. We can't explain this.
Yeah.
We need to move on. just forget that happened, okay? Just never mind it.
And just as we are coming to some slingshot, we can call them. They are called grapples. Basically, if you use the action button upon the grapples, it will create a rope that you will be able to swing from, and we'll see a bit more of them later. And yeah, upcoming is a very hard part of this run. This is basically a very precise and very fast jump, and yeah, not quite enough. So this is this saves a lot of time, but it's usually a very tough part of the run. And Ville is trying to.
It's really
yeah, just
difficult.
go for the easy landing. Basically, there are 2 landings, one very high up, and the other one where you can land to, but you lose a bit of time because you need to go to the side and wall jump. And coming next, there is a little bit of a glitch move where you're gonna see him jump mid-air. We don't have time to explain that fully, but this is not possible all the time. It's just
actually,
here.
We'll see it once more in the final map.
Yeah, we'll see one more.
The game just thinks that you're stuck, and it is pretty confused and allows us to jump mid-air. That's not something we can usually do. So if I could always just jump in the air, that would be a very different type of a game, I suppose. But that's called a Mario jump for some reason. Oh my.
Yeah, and basically you're just when you're stuck between two to blocks with some air below you. The game thinks that you're stuck, as he said, and that's the only moment where you'll be able to jump mid-air. And that is the next tunnel, and this section is gonna be centered around getting some rockets. You have absolutely no rocket regeneration, and the only rockets you can get are from these items that are placed all along the checkpoint.
Ooh.
And this is a very tough cut. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, nice.
This is yeah, first try the cut.
That's
nice.
That's really tough to do. Basically, we can't spend any extra rockets on that. It's very, very precise what you need to do there. But basically skip the entire checkpoint.
Yeah.
Skipping entire checkpoints, we're gonna do this checkpoint a little bit slow. But the reason for that is that we can actually make this last off-zone shield last for long enough to do the entire second checkpoint like this. We just jump through. So normally we're supposed to go up there, but if we do that fast enough, we can actually just make it through in this easy version. A lot of these cuts are not possible in the hard version because the hard version is hard. This checkpoint works in a very similar way. So we need to collect all of the ammo that we can, and then we need to make it through this gate and try to hope that we collected enough ammo to make that the last fence part.
Great. And that
we also skip like half of the checkpoint.
Yeah,
that's kind of the theme around this this section. Just skipping a lot. Oh, this will not work. We're coming to the end of this section though, and there's oh wow, I actually got that jump for once. We're coming to the end of this section, and there's one tunnel left, and it is the toughest of them all, Bugs. It is the toughest of them all.
Yeah, for sure.
The final tunnel is called the Carpal Tunnel. You're gonna understand why.
Yeah, obviously we wish nobody to get a Carpal Tunnel playing this map, but it's called like that because there are a lot of fast movement that you need to do in order to clear this very fast. And that is done brilliantly by our runner. And this whole section is just, you have a timer to finish it, and you need to find a way. There is no pre-made way, but you need to find a way to clear these very unusual obstacles as fast as possible.
Yep. We're getting to the final precision jumping sections of the map, but we have the big one left, and that's the tower. Every Improvises map has a tower. It's kind of like, it's called a KZ tower, but ShootMania KZ is very different from like Counter-Strike KZ. That's simply because we don't have the same kind of air control, but we do have 3 different jump techniques that can help us go through these precision jump sections. So what I'm gonna do though is, this was actually found by you.
Yeah, I found this cut.
So we can actually just skip the first few floors of the tower entirely by going on the roof of that checkpoint block. And now if I fall, it's well, it's not GG, but you know, it's a
huge time loss.
I do need to respawn from the previous one, so let's just not fall.
But yeah, these towers are usually very mental oriented, because every move you do up the tower is just one move you need to redo if you ever fall, and the higher you get, the more pressure you get. So that's very tough mentally. And here we just collect an item, do the first bit of the tower, and and fail a rocket jump.
Maybe I'll try the shortcut now that I died.
Right.
It's a very tricky one. No. Okay. Let's not lose any more time. We have enough time to lose on the final map.
Yeah, the final map is gonna be quite a challenge. It's a map made by a community member. It took him 6 months to complete, and it's an absolute mess. And we are coming to the end of this map, and you're gonna be able to see an invisible maze just after this checkpoint is completed. This checkpoint uses...
It's kind of like a thing in Improvisus maps. It's like something you're supposed to have.
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
all of this was started by a map called Fate Improvisus, which was the first one, and it kind of set the tradition. And it also had a famous invisible maze, so we're gonna have one here as well. So let's just try to navigate this.
This one is quite simple, but it gets very confusing on some maps. Nice, and that is third map done, and we are getting to the beast, the very such a challenge. It's honestly great that you had the courage to try this at ESA, but this map, what should I say?
I mean, I can say that this is what we call in the speedrun community. We know it as a bad idea.
Yeah, very specific terms. Bad idea.
Pretty fast checkpoint too. That's actually really important because that's one pretty soft checkpoint here. But it's not the end. There are 60 checkpoints on this map and they do not get easier.
Absolutely not.
But, one thing that I will say that if it looks bad at some point, if I'm just not able to do a checkpoint, then we can skip some. We have kind of like a button to jump to any checkpoint on this in this game. So if it looks bad, I can just skip a checkpoint, so I can still sort of finish the map. It's gonna be an invalid run. It's not gonna save on the leaderboards or anything. So I hope I don't need to do that, but we'll see how it goes. I will say to make it interesting, for any checkpoint that I do need to skip, I'm gonna donate $10. So
nice. That's good.
And if I don't skip any, then I'll donate some anyway. So
cool. Yeah.
Actually, a very good start though. This is one of my better starts.
Yeah, definitely pretty smooth.
Okay.
Ooh, almost saved that. Nice.
Yeah.
So
close
this
call.
map is mostly just mid-air bumping and rocket wall jumping, but there are also a little bit of precision jumping, which we will be able to see here. And it requires to be quite good at everything in the game, even some glitch moves. So yeah, very tough challenge. I think the lowest played time that somebody had to finish this map is around 1,000 hours of played.
Yeah, we don't generally recommend going for this map unless you have like 1,000 hours in obstacle.
Yeah, it's clearly you need to perfect every technique, almost every technique, to even attempt this. And even people with 1,000 hours of practice in the game in general, not just in this map, will have times that average 7 hours, 4 to 7 hours of to complete a run.
My first run on this map was about 9.5 hours.
Yeah.
And now I need to do it in under 30.
Yeah.
So under 30 minutes, not 30 hours. Well, I mean 30
Easy
hours
enough.
would be nice as well, but.
And this checkpoint is actually pretty complicated. You need to start an escalator jump that we talked about from a corner, and first move he's doing is a called corner jump. You use to gain height infinitely rather, and then if you do a very specific setup, you are able to jump twice on the same wall. Twice or more.
Bugs, my dude, we don't have time to explain that, but I think I just did a corner wall jump.
Yeah, you did. It actually saved you. That was nice.
It's almost pixel perfect.
Yeah,
I will say that it was a complete accident, but it did save the checkpoint, so...
Yeah.
That is marathon luck, I suppose.
Clutch accidents. And this checkpoint 16, is also using very in-depth physics that we cannot discuss here. We do not have time. But just know that if you do not press exactly the right inputs, you will not be able to control your character mid-air like he did.
It's a very complicated checkpoint. I think nobody actually understands what's happening there, like physics-wise. Everyone just knows what inputs to do.
Yeah, it's very hard to explain. And in this start of the checkpoint, oh yeah, nice. Yeah, and we are just like that coming out of the ground. This map is huge. It uses all of the space you have when creating a map. This game has a very well-made game editor, and it's really very well crafted. So shoutouts to Veltas, who spent 6 months making this, and it's awesome that he had to actually make some underground sections to really make use of all the space on the map to make this beauty of a map. And we're getting to the first really choke points of this map.
One of the hardest on the map.
Yeah. It's
a very long one, and it has like 1,000 different movement techniques that you need to do.
Yeah, and among those is gonna be a flick climb that he's gonna do on the very dark block right here. Basically, he's using a rocket to push himself back to the wall and do another wall jump after he's done the first one. And this allows him to go up a bit higher than what he would if he was to go for just one rocket wall jump. But this gets very tough, as if you shoot a rocket a bit wrong, it will eventually push you away and make you unable to clear the checkpoint. And yeah, everything before that is also pretty tough to do, involving a lot of rocket wall jump, flicks, and such. And yeah, if we have time, if we have some announcements, we can take some time right now to have them.
Yeah, that's great, because we got some donations here for some encouragement. We got $25 from Hype saying, I bless the Solexium run. We got $5 from JJ34 saying, hey, ESA, first time watcher, long time donator here. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Hey, Ville, hope you enjoy your 55-minute blueberry pecan smoothie. Good luck with the run.
Thank you.
And
nice.
And we have $10 from Oho, without a comment, but thank you also for your donation. Guys, keep them coming.
Oho, one of the best players in the game, also.
Yeah.
Has the world records in some of the previous maps. 2 of them, actually.
Well, very nice. Thanks everybody. That's incredible that you all came here and donated. Thanks for your encouragements too. No, just short. Oh, incredible. So yeah, great stuff.
Below as well. All right, we might enter the skip zone soon.
Skip zone is about to be maybe considered.
That was a very good start actually until this point, but yeah, this checkpoint is pretty hard.
Yeah. Although all of this is might seem easy up until this point, this one seems to be posing a bit of a problem. But we have solutions for that. Obviously, we still wanted to show this map, even though it's so hard, because it's kind of a milestone in the game. Once you finish it, usually players will rush to the obstacle Discord and post a screenshot of their time, and everybody is happy to congratulate them. But yeah, although it's a very unique experience and a very hard map, we wanted to show it today. Oh, Nice, and we will not need to skip this checkpoint.
Not yet, but it is a bit of a time loss, so we'll see how this goes. Well, luckily we're a bit ahead of schedule, so
yeah, it should not pose a problem.
Let's see though.
I think it's good. I think it's
unlikely that it'll go more than like 5 minutes over estimate.
And just like that,
this one shouldn't be an issue though.
Oh, yeah, just a bit short. And we are gonna go back underground to complete some more checkpoints.
When I do say that this shouldn't be a problem, that's in the context of this map though.
Yeah.
That's to say that there's, you know, more difficult checkpoints on the map. I'm not sure why this is... There we go.
Yeah, nice. Perfect. And so this checkpoint is using the technique that we already kinda saw, of shooting a rocket and jumping right after it, which allows us to gain a lot of momentum in very little space. You can see that the block he's standing before jumping and shooting a rocket is very narrow, and this doesn't allow him to sprint on it very long, so he needs to use this technique to clear the obstacles. Very nicely done. And here we have some more flicks and very hard... Ooh, nice! Very hard mid-air trajectory around these blocks. You can see that he's using a lot of rockets to kind of adjust his trajectory. This is very, very precise, and if done correctly, should allow us to continue on. And that should be it, yeah. Nice. Perfect. And coming up, we have some very fast flicking checkpoints.
Yes.
Nice.
Actually had a lot of problems with that checkpoint yesterday, so I'm happy I one-shot it.
Yeah, it's definitely a very fast and hard one. On this one we are gonna perform a little cut. There are not so much of them. Yeah, basically if you can land on these little edges. They can sometimes be a problem, and you will be able to jump to the platform, which is beautifully done. And we are coming up to checkpoint 30. You can see the checkpoint number. I didn't say this, but on the middle of the bottom of the screen, you can see that there is a timer, which is how long the run took up until now. And there is also a number of checkpoints, 60 CPs, which mean checkpoints. And we are currently standing at checkpoint 30, which will be the first very hard one if you're learning the map.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a nice one shot, man.
Was actually a little bit shaky. I'm surprised that I got that one. But
beautiful. And yeah, it's gonna be the first really hard one if you're not a beginner, but if you're starting to attempt.
Well, if you're a beginner, it's gonna be hard as well. To be fair.
If you're a beginner, it's most likely you'll never see that checkpoints until a year later. But yeah, the checkpoint 31 that we are currently on has also a very interesting start, in which you need to very carefully adjust your trajectory to not hit anything, and that is perfectly done. This one, checkpoint 33, uses a bit of high bumping. You basically shoot some rockets very high behind you. Oh, that was so close. Rip. But yeah, you shoot some rockets very fast, very high behind you, to basically do a 90-degree turns plus a rocket wall jump that allows you to gain height and keep hopefully most of your speed. And this has to be done twice, and it's very precise. And Ooh, almost. And at the start, you can see that he's kind of sliding over the ground. This block is called a wood slide, and it works a little bit like you can see in some things you can see in CS:GO Surf. The only difference is that you don't really have any control over your trajectory. You need to use some rockets, and the WASD keys will not do much to help you. But it's basically the same as CS:GO Surf. You'll gain speed if you go down on these, and you'll lose some if you go up. And they keep your momentum, and you can jump off of them.
God, this one is so hard.
Yeah, it's very precise. Basically, you need to shoot a rocket very high behind you, then turn your camera, aim parallel to the wall, and jump. And all of this in just a few frames. Because if you press jump while looking straight at the wall, it will not wall jump. You need to be looking almost parallel to the wall in order to get the full power of a wall jump.
Yeah, even if you get the wall jump off, it's not going to be strong enough to do the checkpoint.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little bump up.
Quake needs to be really, really good here.
Yeah. Not quite. But soon enough, we'll be able to carry on to the next checkpoint.
Quite still.
Not quite.
This is a bit of a choke point checkpoint.
Yeah, once you lose a bit of the timing, sometimes it can get tough because you need to do it twice, and if you're not really on point with the timing, then there's at least once where you'll get in trouble. That's nice.
Nah, it's not enough speed.
No.
Barely not enough. Alright.
Yeah, it was really high though.
It was
getting a lot of height, but not enough speed.
Yeah, it's last wall. That's really the difficult part. Alright, we're gonna give this like 1 minute and then we kinda need to move forward, I think.
Yeah, no problem. Just like we said, we can skip checkpoints. No way. That's so close. We can skip checkpoints if really we get stuck. This will invalidate our time, so it's not possible to do that on a regular run. But yeah, considering it's such a hard map, but it's also very interesting to show it, we still wanted to do a run on ESA Live. Even though this might happen a bit.
Yeah, I think we need to do it now. Otherwise, we just won't have time for the rest of the map. So
yeah,
that's $10.
$10 more to the personal donation. And so we are off to checkpoint 34 out of 60. And we'll get some very precise trajectories right there. Yes, perfect. And we see more EJ right here. We can see that after performing a wall jump on the wall, he's gonna be able to stick back to it. Nice.
They're so close.
Nah, just not enough. And yeah, you can see that.
There we go.
Nice. And on this checkpoint you actually do not have infinite rockets, so you need to be very careful on how you spend them. They regenerate a bit over time, but you only have 4 to start with, and you can see the ammo on the bottom left of the screen. There is a little rocket icon and then some bars which represent rockets, and you can see that they regenerate a bit over time, but not very quickly. So you need to perform all these moves with as little rockets as possible.
This is another really tough one.
Yeah, it becomes very precise since you don't really have space for any mistakes. You need to really concentrate on every point of this checkpoint.
Oh, whoops. Would have worked if I didn't hold left click a bit too long.
That's the problem. Just shooting random rockets, and you end up having to do everything with one less.
Alright, I might need to skip this one as well. Just so we... Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah, that's a really tough one.
And on this one we can see kind of climb checkpoints. We call climb checkpoints these checkpoints where you need to keep your height or even gain height for a long period of time performing certain moves. And you can see that here he's doing some corner jumps, just being in this 90-degree corner and using rocket and wall jumps to gain height. And on the second part he cannot wall jump on the wall that he's flicking very fast towards. So this wall he needs to shoot a rocket to just bump himself back to the wall he can wall jump on, and that's very nicely done.
That's a workout.
Yeah, that's a lot of mouse movement. And checkpoint 38 is centered around these very precise corner flicks. Basically he's shooting a rocket just after wall jumping to adjust his trajectory and avoid hitting the next wall. Every time you hit a wall, if you come to it in a bad trajectory, you will lose a bit of speed. So he needs to do this very well in order to keep the speed that the bumper gives him. You can see that the first block that he jumps on is a bumper. Will give him a lot of initial speed that he needs to keep throughout the whole section. And this one is also a very tough one. It gets really not quite. It's a very
tiring at the end. Oof,
yeah,
okay.
A very precise move. We'll see a lot more of it. That well played. We'll see a lot of more of these corner flicks at the last checkpoint, and yeah, these get very tiring. This checkpoint again, 39, you have limited rockets, so you need to be very precise with how you use them, and you need to clear these obstacles as well as you can without wasting anything. We can see that the first, after rocket jumping, he's shooting a very fast rocket to the right, which allows him to wall jump again after he's left the ground. Basically he does rocket jump, wall jump, shoot a rocket, nice, and wall jump again. This is more, again, more precision jumping. This checkpoint can pose a lot of problems if you've not trained it. And I remember actually having to spend like 40 minutes to clear these two jumps because I never trained this, and it was a mess.
It can be really difficult in the beginning. Those jumps are not forgiving at all.
But that's nicely done. Thanks. And we get to a climbing checkpoint. As I've already mentioned, climbing checkpoints, you need to keep your height, you need to gain some height using rocket wall jumps and flicks. And if you fail, it's GG, back to the start. And as we come to the end of this section of climbing, yeah, cheeky little one-shot right here. Good job on that. That's huge. So,
all right, picking up the pace again.
Nice. So this checkpoint for 43 is requires a lot of bumping. A lot of these walls you cannot wall jump on. You need to just keep your height by shooting rockets at them. All of the walls which he stays far away from are actually not wall jumpable. As I already mentioned, there are only 3 types of wall you can wall jump, which are the white ones, the brick ones, and the red ones. And just like that, that should be it. Nice. Yep. Here again, some limited rockets checkpoint.
Oops, that's not gonna work.
No. Some limited rocket checkpoints. They're gonna be very hard to clear these curved corners. Basically, the corners on these checkpoints have a little curve to it. So, if you wall jump at the exact right timing, you're able to do a 90-degree turn without losing much speed. But it's a few frames time window in which you need to wall jump or rocket wall jumps in order to keep the momentum and be able to clear the huge gap that there is at the end. Nicely done. And now checkpoint 45, another beast, another one that we usually take a lot of time before completing for the first time, and that's gonna be a cheeky one shot. Nice. So we won't have to talk that much about it, but it's definitely quite a piece.
It's pretty tricky. Some players have got stuck on that. I mean, I myself as well. It's a bit on and off. Sometimes you do it first try. Sometimes it takes like 5 minutes. So
yeah, definitely. And it relies a lot on these corner flicks, which I already mentioned. And yeah, these take a lot of training and a lot of precision to do right.
Here we go.
As we are heading back underground to go on with the run.
For once, I actually got it with that kind of a landing.
Yeah, that's perfect. Some more climbing checkpoints.
Yeah, this is one of the toughest ones. This is a rage quit checkpoint right here.
Yeah, clearly.
Not that I would rage quit at ESA. That would be embarrassing. But
no, but yeah, these get very mentally tiring. So usually people will get stuck for a while, then decide to call it a day and come back the next one.
Nice.
But that's not the case right here. Ooh, nice save.
I'm really glad I got that at
that
ESA.
was perfect. Yeah.
That's such a tough one to do. Some EJ magic there, escalator jump magic.
Yeah, that's very precise again. And right there we can see that Ville is slightly misaiming his rocket, and we can see that the power blocks actually, the rockets bounce off of them, so we cannot perform any rocket wall jumps directly on a power block. We need to shoot on a neighboring block to get a bump and then wall jump. So that's the problem with this checkpoint. You need to find some places to shoot in order to be able to wall jump on these red walls, which are called power blocks. They are very tricky, but give you a lot of speed if you do it right. And coming next, there is gonna be a very unique checkpoint, which will use kind of a glitch mechanic. And we'll see it. It's called double wall jump. Basically, while standing still next to a wall, you can perform a jump, and then while clicking very fast to one side, you can do a dash, and that will be used to kind of get back to the wall and perform a second wall jump and gain some more height. It might be a little bit confusing, but you'll get it when we get there. It's just keep an eye out, and the extra pressure will come from the fact that all of this will be timed, so he needs to do it very fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this for like half a minute, and then we need to jump again so I can show the rest of the map.
Yep.
In like a reasonable time.
Yeah. So that should be it.
That works barely.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
So here.
Alright, so here you can see again these off-zone shield item, which will allow us to go through off-zone. And there is at the end an off-zone wall that you can only cross if you still have the item, but the item wears out after a few seconds, so you need to do everything very fast. And the last move is gonna be a double wall jump, which I talked about. Usually it's not much of a problem, but with the additional pressure of time, it can get very tense.
Yeah, it's still like a very precise timing.
It's a few frames. The inputs I talked about are within a few frames of the execution must be very precise. So
yeah,
easy to mix it up when your hands start sweating and shaking.
The game has 100 tick rate, so it's 100 possible ticks per second, which allows for some really precise stuff. Yeah,
and we never really counted every frames. We never tried to do a tool-assisted speedrun of this game because it's just very complex and nobody got into it. But that'd be interesting to know exactly how many frames you have to perform all of these moves. If anybody if anybody wants to try it, I'd be super interested to see the depths of ShootMania physics.
It would be interesting. I think I do need to skip this. I can show a double wall jump here. That's what it's supposed to look like. And when you
nice. Yeah, first try with no pressure.
Yeah, of course. It's like always like that. I think that was the third skip, or might be fourth. Well, it's money for charity. That's all good. Here we have a small shortcut. If there's any shoutouts or incentives or donations, now would be time as well.
Sure, yeah, we got one more donation in. $5 from Samowar Warware saying, listening to the awesome ShootMania commentary while sunbathing at the beach. Quality time, am I right? Great job, Ville. Love you both.
Thanks, Sam.
Dude, thanks a lot. That sounds nice.
That's awesome.
I hope the sun is warm and cool. Warm and nice. Warm and cool is kind of a oxymoron. Not really possible.
I feel, in the name of the tech crew, I feel obligated to quickly let you mention that we're already over the estimate.
Yep.
But sure, keep going. This is an amazing run, and we want to see you succeed, but just letting you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only 3 checkpoints left, so...
We'll do everything to finish as quickly as possible. But we are coming to the end, as we said. Ooh, very close.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Very close.
These last checkpoints get very complicated. A lot more fast mechanics are introduced, and everything needs to be completely perfect. You cannot misplace one rocket, or that's game. And yeah, throughout the whole map, the checkpoints get harder and harder, and that's kind of a frustration for players because even after running for several hours, you're still getting met with some more difficult challenges and you're already tired. So yeah, definitely quite a map to complete.
Yeah. The last few checkpoints especially can get not only more mechanically difficult, but just more tiring.
Yeah, because they get especially last checkpoint gets very, very long.
I think this might be my fourth skip here.
Yeah,
so we're gonna go to 58, which is the second last checkpoint. We have 2 more left. So let's hope that I can do this these last 2.
Yes, and
you
you
the
jump.
hardest checkpoints, by the way.
Yeah, these are the hardest checkpoints of the map, hands down. And you can see that he jumped from 56 to 58. That's because 57 is just a teleporter, so it's not an entire checkpoint. There's no catch in that. It would just teleport him to the platform where he's standing right now.
It's the same with this checkpoint here.
Yeah.
Just throws us to checkpoint 60.
And the hard part of this checkpoint is actually to have a good trajectory and avoid hitting the walls. And that's easier said than done, because these turns are absolutely gnarly.
Yeah, these are very strange angles to work with. It's a pretty weird checkpoint overall, like very unintuitive in a way.
And this one...
Oh, that works. Yeah, no worries.
No worries. We should be done by then quite easily. But we'll just have a look at the last checkpoint, which we teased already. These huge, very long checkpoints involving a lot of corner flicks, amongst other moves. And yeah, it's been quite a frustration for a lot of players who attempted this map, because, well, sometimes you're just too tired to complete it, and you've got to just call it a day and come back the next one, play the whole map again, and get to this checkpoint. So yeah, quite a beast.
Well, we have a few more tries.
Yeah.
Let's say
at about 37. More. Yeah, at about 37 we should wrap it up. But yeah, you could see the whole map. And well, we had to jump some things, but it was kind of bound to happen.
Nice. All right, I got the final one. All right, that's good enough for me. All right, we're already over estimates by I don't know how much, probably a lot, but I'm glad that I got to do the final checkpoint at least. So that's time, by the way. Also, I forgot to completely say. But yeah, what was the time?
The time was a little bit late, but it was like 1 hour, 5 minutes and something.
Ooh, okay. So, yeah, we're gonna keep it short then. Thank you so much for having me. At least I got to do most of the checkpoints here. Thank you so much, Bugs. Shout out to the ShootMania community, and yeah, there's some Quake action coming next, so don't miss that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting me, man. It was really a pleasure to commentate.
Was a lot of fun, even if Solexium didn't go maybe as well as it could have, but
yeah,
we tried our best. All right, thank you so much, and enjoy the marathon.
Awesome. So before we go, though, I have one question, and I need to know this real quick. What is your best time on this map?
It's about 23 minutes and like 54 seconds. It's about under 24 minutes still.
That is pretty sick. All right, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the ShootMania Storm hard map showcase, because I did. This was insane. This was so cool. And yeah, as mentioned, coming up next is Quake. So please don't go anywhere if you're a fan of the FPS game block here. So yeah, we will be right back after these short messages.